Everybody, once again, today we are back with another 4O video. Alright, so today we're going to be talking about the new priesthood. And first question off the bat, what does it mean when they say the new priesthood? Well, when I say that, I mean that the priesthood that was there before under the old covenant is not in effect. The new priest that we have in this new covenant that we have is in effect. This new high priest that we have is Jesus. All right. Under the old covenant, it was the Levitical priest, the priest that came from the tribe of Levi. So what does that mean? What does that mean for us? Well, to start off, it means that if there's a change in priesthood and there's a change in law, there has to be. Right? All this is said in Hebrews chapter 7. Now for some context. The law was given to the Jews. The law was given to the Jews, as we will see in Exodus, when God gave Moses the commandments on Mount Sinai and the 600 and something laws. All right. And to also make mention, right, that those who are not a part of, are not Jewish and are not part of the, are not born, not a part of Israel, right? Not born in Israel and stuff like that, then you have been aliens to the covenant of promise, all right? It says so in Ephesians chapter 2, right? It means that we will be foreign, we would not have been associated with the covenant of promises and stuff like that. Just read it in Ephesians chapter 2 and you will see that so for those who are not born in Israel, those who are not, of the tribe of Israel, we will be kind of foreigners from the covenant promise that God would have made with Israel and whatnot. And then under the old covenant, right, which we would not have been a part of, those who were not born in Israel and are not of the lineage of Abraham and stuff like that, would not have been a part of that covenant, of the old covenant. It's only because of the blood of Jesus that has made it, that has drawn us near to God, that we have been drafted into a relationship with God, with a covenant. And this covenant is through the blood of Jesus, and the covenant through grace. You understand? So that's the change in law. Went from the old law, the old covenant and stuff like that, to the covenant of grace. Okay, and that's not to say, right, that the that the old covenant is bad and stuff like that, right? The problem with it was that nobody could keep the law. There were so many requirements behind it. The law is holy, all right, but it can't make someone holy because it's impossible to actually have to live it out perfectly in all 600 and something of those laws. Only Jesus was able to do it. Only Jesus was able to do it. That's why he's our high priest. He did it perfectly. When I say high priest, someone who intercedes between God and man. Under the old covenant, the high priest would, offer sacrifices, the lamb and stuff like that, towards God for the remission of sins for the people, right? Jesus is our eternal lamb, he's the sacrifice that's there forever, and that forever part is a very crucial aspect of why he is our new high priest. He's our high priest under the order of Melchizedek. When I say Melchizedek, Melchizedek refers back to the priest that Abraham would have offered tithe to after the battle of the kings. All right, and the Bible says that Melchizedek was someone who was like unto the Son of God. He resembled. I'm not talking about parents, but I'm talking about like the fact that he was the priest and the king of God. The priest and the king of Salem and the priest of God Most High. I make some errors there, excuse that one. But yeah, he was the priest of God Most High, talking about God. And the God that we serve, and the king of Salem, which was later on to be Jerusalem. You know, also have translations of King of Peace and King of Peace, King of Justice, right? All this is in Hebrews chapter 7. You know, I still I still backtracking after I almost said King of God just now. But yeah, so the Bible says that there's no record of his parents, there's no record of his children, and there's no record of his death also, you know. So under that precedent, under that precedent, Jesus has been drafted into priesthood under the order of Melchizedek. And to kind of put it in some better terms, right? Because I know I kind of butchered that one a little bit, that little explanation. Let's look at this from Hebrews chapter 7. Okay. Okay, so Hebrews chapter 7, verse 15. This change has been, the NLT. This change has been made very clear to the different priests who is like Melchizedek has appeared. Jesus became a priest not by meeting the physical requirement of belonging to the tribe of Levi, but by the power of life that cannot be destroyed. And the psalmist talking about David pointed this out when he prophesied, "You are a priest forever in the order of Melchizedek." Yes, the old requirement about the priesthood was set aside because it was weak and useless, for the law never made anything perfect. But now we have confidence in a better hope through which we draw near to God. All right. So this is basically that Jesus is our new high priest by the power of life that cannot be destroyed. All right. Um. Yeah. So because Jesus is our new high priest, not under the tribe of Levi, because Jesus is from the tribe of Judah. All right, Levi and Judah were sons of Joseph, and Joseph had 12 other sons, so 12 sons in total, which formed the 12 tribes of Israel. And since the tribe of Levi was was the tribe that administered priesthood to Israel, to the Israelites and stuff. Since there is a change in priesthood, there is a change in law. All right. And this law that we enter into is the law that actually allows us, Gentiles, well, those who are not born in Israel and stuff like that, not of the line of Abraham and stuff, allows us to actually be a part of the family of God, because the old law didn't permit that. No, that law was given to that law was given to Israel. All right. So at the end of the day, that's not to say that we don't acknowledge the old law. At the end of the day, the law itself is holy, once again, and it has things in it that you can do that would resemble holiness, right? Once again, remember I say resemble holiness. It can't make you holy because you can't fulfill them all. But at the end of the day, we are holy through the washing of Jesus. At the end of the day, we have been sanctified by Him. Check it out in First Corinthians chapter 1. It says our sanctification, which means our purification, which means our holiness. We are holy because of Jesus, not holy because of what we've done, but because of He has done. Going back to being a child of God, it's not about what you have done, it's about what Jesus has done. And indeed, that's a part of the law of grace. Okay, so just to backpedal a little bit and bring everything into context, under the old covenant, the priesthood of through Levi administered the old law, administered the tithes and collected the tithes and the sacrifices and whatnot through the slaying of a lamb. And since there's a change of priesthood because of the power that cannot be destroyed, as mentioned in Hebrews chapter 7, Jesus is our new high priest. He is forever. That's that kind of connotation why they mentioned under the order of Melchizedek. Because he's not from the tribe of Levi. Melchizedek was not from the tribe of Levi, and he was way before the tribe of Levi was even established in the day, So, yeah, so on this precedent now that's been set, Jesus being from the tribe of Judah, right? we, us Gentiles, those who are not born in Israel, have been drafted into the family of God because there's a new priesthood, Jesus Christ. When there's a new priesthood, there's a change of law. When there's a change of law, that means that, under this new law of grace, all right, we have been drafted into the family of God. And that's something very important to remember, very important to know, you know, the behind the scenes, the intricacies of why is the New Testament. Testament means covenant. So why the old covenant, why it says the old covenant, why it says the new covenant, the Old Testament, New Testament. It's important to know that. And it's important to know the logistics behind it because it's good to just know it, from head knowledge. But when you understand that, hey, the law changed because the new priesthood in town, like, it gives you a better understanding of what Jesus has done and the position Jesus has. In fact, we are joint heirs with Christ. It's crazy too. The fact that we are citizens of another world. When you become a child of God, because your identity has changed. You're not just such and such person, citizen of such and such country. You are a part of heaven. You're part of God. So yeah, remember that. Remember, read Hebrews chapter 7. Read Hebrews chapter 6, verse 2. Let's just look at it really quickly. Hebrews chapter 6, verse 2 says, Jesus has already gone in there. He has become our eternal high priest in the order of Melchizedek. So yeah. So, what does that mean? Jesus our high priest. Change of priest means change of law. Change of law. That law is the law that has brought us to God, made us a part of the family of God. All right. So when in conversations you talk about the old covenant, new covenant, you have to really mention that, that that occurred because it's a change of priesthood. Very important to know that. It's very important. And yeah, we live under the covenant of grace. You can look at the law for different aspects of life, but the law is not Lord over you, okay? Because with that comes the knowledge of sin, the knowledge of that you can't match up by your own efforts, not by your own works. Because if any man should boast, if you could have actually completed the law, what would there be Jesus? It'd be kind of injustice for God to send Jesus for that purpose, remission of sins and change of priesthood and change of law. If the law could have made us perfect, the law could not have made us perfect. The law itself is perfect, but because we couldn't, fulfill it and do everything it says. So I say those who it was given to cannot do it. It made the fact that sin is known. That they didn't match up. We couldn't match up, so new law had to be in place. And yeah, Jesus came in, saved the day, for lack of better words. But yeah, he's our new high priest on the order of Melchizedek. And yeah, that's it. Well, all here is not it. There's so much more to it. But check out Hebrews chapter 7. And yes, see some more context when it comes to it. Dive in the scriptures and know more about God. God covers all bases and there's no shortcoming when it comes to God. So check it out, and I'll check you guys in the next video. Check out the being a child of God and overcoming emotions with God and stuff like that. Share it around and let's spread the word. So yeah, I'll catch you guys later. On to the next video, and yeah, until next time.